Good evening. It is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington. This is the Best Slam Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamb. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
They love me.
Right? They do. I don't get that applause. Ever.
I mean, technically, you control it. You can do whatever you want.
That's a good point. We should, you know what? You're not wrong.
You could just, like, anytime you make a really good point, just immediately cue up the applause for yourself.
That's probably the best idea right there. Yep. I need like 10 different kinds of applause. So it doesn't sound like it's the same applause, right?
Yeah,
It's got to
it
sound
can't
like
be
a
the
whole
same.
different, yeah, because, sometimes it's just a smattering of applause.
Did you ever watch Bo Burnham's Inside?
Yes.
So he has that song Comedy, and it uses a laugh track,
Yeah.
but it's the same laugh track every time.
Yep. It's funny.
And by the third one, you're like, that doesn't change at all. It's weird.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. We've got Formula One to talk about, college football, NFL. Lots of games. We're not going to cover them all, but I mean, we're going to try. Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to cover the super important things. Let's talk about Formula One. Let's just get moving because we got things to talk about. Formula One was in Italy again for the second Italy stop. And at the Italian GP at Monza, which is a high-speed, very few corners. It almost looks like they threw in chicanes just because otherwise it'd be an oval or it'd be a boomerang.
Right.
Yeah, so they just threw in some corners and said, oh, here. And even the old track with the banking, holy moly. They don't have that anymore, but that would have been even super faster. It would have been great.
This is as close as you can get to a NASCAR track.
Yeah, I'd like to see them run the old track with the banking. See how fast those cars could go.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, maybe too fast. Anyway, long story short, if you watched qualifying for this race, Max Verstappen was first, Lando Norris was second, Oscar Piastri was third, Charles Leclerc was fourth, and George Russell and Lewis Hamilton were fifth and sixth, not necessarily in that order. However, if you watch the race, Max Verstappen won the race. Lando Norris was second. Oscar Piastri was third. Charles Leclerc was fourth. And George Russell and Lewis Hamilton were fifth and sixth. So there's really, I mean, there was some excitement right at the beginning. There was some, at the end, there was some McLaren drama. But let's get at the beginning. So at the beginning, Max comes out and cuts the corner, right? To avoid, Lando says he pushed him off the track at the beginning into the grass when they started, right? You remember that part? But when you watch it, you go, no, the track just ran out. You just ran into the grass. You could have slowed down at any point in time and just not gone into the grass, but you did.
Once again, Lando's lawn mowing service was
back.
back.
Yeah, he went right through the grass, which was fine. But then they go to that turn one, which is one of the sharpest turns in Formula One, right? And they go into turn one. It gets hairy for Max, who ends up going, just bailing and cutting the corner. And then, of course, he's got to give that place back, which he did, right? He gave the place back and then immediately passed it. And then immediately passed it. I mean, it wasn't immediate, but it was within a lap or two. He passed him right back. And I'm like, okay, so why is the Red Bull set up for this particular track? The speed, it's just straight speed. And they're faster, which is weird, right? I mean,
well, they sold out for it in this race. So there's a whole bunch of information like on the way they redesigned their back wing for this race that, if it had any more turns, they were going to be hosed. It was like a perfect blend of like, we sold out to have speed and the track conditions were well, that medium tires were lasting longer. Like it was just a combination of things. But like I watched a visualized picture comparison of their back wing versus McLaren's back wing, and they were calling his they were calling it something like the saucer, because it was like flat, pretty much flat, just like with a little bottom to it, and that's it.
Right.
So he didn't have much turning speed, but he had all the straight line.
Not as much downforce, right? So yeah. it was. I mean, it was clear that he had a faster car, and on this track he was quite a bit, faster, and it was that way in qualifying too. He set a record for fastest lap ever at the track, which I think that kind of happens every time, every race now, right? Someone sets a record at every track. It's like, this is the fastest I've ever gone, because
Oh,
the cars keep getting faster. So anyway,
I don't know. Is that, you think that's true?
I
You think
do.
people are like constantly setting fastest laps ever
Yep.
at tracks?
Yeah. So I think that if you went and go look at who holds the fastest lap in Hungary, it'd have been this year, somebody from this year.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they just keep
Fair
getting
enough.
faster and faster, and that's bound to happen. It may not happen on every track forever, but it just kind of seems like this year it's been that way. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, whole point is Max led pretty much the whole race, did what he wanted, pitted when he wanted, and it forced McLaren to make some decisions later about pitting and tires, right? Which
Yeah.
tires? Which tire do we go on? Do we go on a hard or do we go on a see if we go long enough to go on a soft, right?
Yeah.
And Max kind of forced their hand. The Red Bull decided they were going to go on to hards, and they did, right?
Right.
Off the medium tire, and then McLaren just said, "Well, we aren't going to do what he's doing because if we do that, we'll still be behind him. We got to try something different, so we're going to go soft, right?" So then came the double stack. Well, not really a double stack, but the lap after lap pit stop, right? And
Right.
they pit Oscar Piastri first, right? And
Yes.
he runs a 1.9. And,
Yeah.
and I was like,
so fast.
that is so fast. It's 1.9 to change the tires. And so Lando comes around on the next lap, and they're supposed to be able to pit him and put him right back out in front of Oscar. And
It should be fun.
it ended up being 4.9. And
Tired. What's it called? The guy who was it front left?
Front left, yes.
He put the drill in. He turned it. It started alerting him that it didn't go, and he pulled it off and was just sitting there. And then the other guy smacks him in the back of the head,
he smacked
and then
him.
he puts
Dude.
it back on and goes again.
I've
All
never
this happens over 5 seconds.
I've never seen the lights on those things before. That was the first time I'd ever seen that they were lighted. That they had like a alarm or a warning system or a whatever. They go green if it's right. That's weird. I want one. I mean,
The one that I did in Vegas
Yeah.
had the lights on it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the 4.9 pit stop put him out behind Piastri, and then the team orders came out not long after that, which said you need to let him pass, which is the fair route considering they did that to Lando before, right? When Oscar they let Oscar go by. It has happened before. So I feel like
and because they specifically told him
they did.
after he asked, he's like, "You're gonna pit the other one first?" He said, "Yes, but don't worry, it's your spot."
Right.
Like they kind of already warned him, and if it wasn't for a snafu, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. Yeah, so it was the right thing to do, but it does cause some questions, right? And it makes it, but in this case, so Lando finishing second, Oscar third means Lando picks up 3 points, right? In the overall scheme of thing. Max picked up
Not super consequential.
Yeah, well, Max picked up what? It's what, 13 points? Not 13 points. What is it that he picks up over Oscar? But it doesn't matter because he's so far back. It really won't make a difference.
Right.
Oscar Orlando is going to win this thing, the whole thing. But
And at this rate, it'll be Oscar because Lando can't get there picking up 3 points a weekend.
no, you can't get there very fast.
He has to get wins. He has to be 7+.
Well, he has to at least he has to at least be in the high points, and he needs Oscar to not finish one race, or he needs he needs some help. But if Oscar keeps finishing in the top 3, it's done. I mean, it's over.
The thing that I didn't understand about this race
Yeah.
was that they ran medium tires for 40 something laps, right? Before they changed it.
Yeah.
Because you have to stop. You have to.
You have to
If they
stop,
didn't have to stop, I don't think they were going to.
I don't. Yeah.
But knowing that you have to stop and being in second, but only being about 5 seconds back, because Max got ahead, but he never got like 10, 15 ahead. He got like 6 or 7.
6 or 7, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Which is not a pit stop, right?
No.
So I didn't understand why McLaren didn't take a chance around, I don't know, lap 40.
Yeah.
slap on another pair of mediums if they had one, or softs, because if the medium can go 40, the soft can go 20, and this is all going to be fine.
You'd think.
Slap on another pair of tires and try and undercut him. They didn't even try to undercut him.
It's
They were
so
clearly losing
No,
ground lap over lap. Not much, but they were clearly losing ground, and they didn't even attempt another strategy.
I don't understand the tire strategy sometimes anyway, because I mean, what they tell you is, oh well, the data we have says, well, the hard tire is not the tire to race on. It's not going to work. Okay, but
Right.
you haven't raced on it in a race situation on this track today. You know what I mean? You did it in
Right.
practice or you did it in wherever, but you haven't, you know what I mean? But they've already ruled it out like, "Oh, that's not where we're headed. We're not doing that." And I'm like, "Okay,
Right.
so that tire's shitty. Okay. So now we're down to mediums and soft, but everyone's down to mediums and soft. If you said it, you can't
Everyone's
race.
done.
Yeah, everyone's in the same boat. So we've like eliminated a tire choice, which is really weird because now the race is kind of decided by whoever's out in front if they have good pit stops, right? The tires are the tires.
Right.
Everyone's running on the same damn tires. It's weird. It's a weird thing that they do, and I don't. I like the fact that they have to change tires. I think that's great. I don't like that. Hey, well, we'll just put on one pair of tires and we'll run till the end because then there'd be no pit stops, right? And it would be boring
Right.
because the pit stops are what make it interesting. I think.
It's a way that it turns it into interesting. So
Yeah.
because I think these guys are just going to finish. They were just going to finish the race. I mean, they all pitted with like 10 laps left.
Yeah, there wasn't much time left.
But yeah, I just don't. You couldn't explain to me why, unless they were just very comfortable with a 2-3. Like, this
Well,
they've
already got the constructors. The next week they'll have the constructors championship in pocket, right?
Right. They should next week, and then
Max
couple
winning
weeks
is
after that,
not
Max-
Max winning is not a threat to either of the other two. He doesn't have enough points
Can
to
Max
catch him.
still win it?
Yeah.
If they finish second and third
I don't
race,
No, he's not close enough.
he needs them to not finish a race or fall way farther back.
Right.
He needs a big points then. Okay.
Yeah, he. Hang on a second, I can pull it up. I had it up a minute ago, but now the world has decided it doesn't like me. So it's part of running that team's a different way now. So here's the standings. I'm gonna pull them up right now, except it's really going slow. Yeah, my computer. Okay, so Piastri has 324 points. Lando Norris has 293. Yeah. Max has 230. So Max is 94 points behind Piastri.
Right.
Yeah, so in order to catch Oscar Piastri and have a chance to win in the 8 races we have left, right? He needs to make up 12 points a race.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
And that's a lot.
So he needs him to fall quite a ways.
Yeah, he would need to win pretty much every race from here on out and have Oscar finish no better than 4th.
Right.
From here on out.
And now Oscar's sitting on a 31-point lead.
Correct.
With 8 races left.
Correct.
So he's getting close to.
He can thank Lando's malfunction. Well, it's not Lando's fault, but the car malfunction last week in the Netherlands.
Right.
Yeah, for giving him 25 free points clear. Because otherwise, he's only how many?
Orlando
points?
running into the back of him.
Well, that's true.
In Canada,
he
can thank that too.
Yeah.
Because it's a 30-point difference, and that's 25 also.
That's so he would have. Yeah, we were talking about at least.
He'd be ahead.
Lando would. Yeah, Lando would probably be ahead. It'd be close. Anyway, it'd be very close.
Assuming Oscar's 1 and Lando's 2 still in those races.
Well, Oscar.
No, he wouldn't be ahead.
Oscar in Canada finished 4th. He finished 4th.
Oh, that's right. George Russell won.
So if Lando were to win that, he would have picked up 13 points. Might have pushed Oscar down into 5th. Might have been 15 points.
I'm not saying won it. I'm saying not wrecked and finished where he was. So if Lando would have finished in 4th in that race, and he would have finished in 2nd,
he wouldn't have got much
in this last race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would not have caught up, even if he would have finished those races in his spots.
But he would have gotten. He would have if he finished 3rd in both races. Let's just say, right?
Yeah.
Then that's 30 points. But he'd be right there. I mean, he'd have 30 more. He'd have 30 more points than he has right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd
still be behind
by 1.
But I know, I'm just saying, but he'd still be behind.
Right. Well,
Like everyone points to those DNFs as big reasons why he's not more dominant, but he'd still be behind even without them. And
well,
that's given that Oscar had the Spinaroonie Dooney in Australia that
that's
took
true.
him from 20, 25 points to 2.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
spotted Lando 20 points in that race, 23 points.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying. Let's assume Oscar doesn't finish where he finished in Australia, which was ninth. Right?
Yeah, I
Let,
think he got 2 points or 1 point.
he got 2 points. Let's assume he won.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Lando doesn't win then. Lando had 25, so that's going to affect Lando. So Oscar goes up.
Oscar was in first, right, when he spun?
Yeah, Oscar's going to go up 23 points,
Okay.
right? Okay, so he has
Yeah.
347. Lando is going to lose 7 points, finish second. So he's at 286, right? So it's 347 to 286. So now it's like a 60-point lead, right?
Right.
Somewhere in that ballpark. And
then you throw in
so now I throw in
finishes,
Canada, assuming Lando right,
finishes where he was.
fourth, which is where Oscar finished. By the way.
Oh, so wait, so then Lando would have been in fifth.
Okay, so let's give him 10 points.
Yeah.
He makes up 10, and then you have the Netherlands, which I don't know where he would have finished.
He was in second at the time.
Okay, so there's 18.
And it was late too.
So there's 18 more points. So he would have caught up. He would have had 28 more points than he does now. So he would still be about the same distance back.
That would be even worse. Yeah.
He'd be about the same distance behind.
If that doesn't tell you that Oscar's been clearly the better driver this season, that if you restore everyone's failures to successes or moderate successes, whatever they were doing, Oscar's still leading by 40 points.
Yeah, well.
But that includes Oscar snafu and Lando's 2 DNFs. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. But to your point, I pulled up the Monza lap times, the top Monza lap times of all time.
Yeah.
Number 1, obviously, Max Verstappen.
Yep.
This year. Number 2, McLaren, Lando Norris. This year, 0.06 behind Verstappen.
Okay.
Number 3 and 4 are Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas in the W11. So this would have been 2021.
Okay.
So those are 3 and 4. Oscar Piastri this year's 5. Charles Leclerc this year's 6.
Yeah.
And then you get to Kimi Räikkönen.
That's a lot of
in the SF71. So this would have been a while ago.
That's
Lewis Hamilton this year.
A lot of fast times being put out by this group of cars.
Yeah. So both McLarens, both Ferraris, and then 9 and 10, which is what I was about to say, is George Russell and Kimi Antonelli this year. So both McLarens, both Ferraris, both Mercedes this year are in the top 10 of Monza lap times ever.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's
crazy.
6 of your top 10, and then everything else is just kind of some other stuff. So, and Lewis Hamilton has 2 of them.
That's crazy. If you're gonna watch F1, it's not next weekend. They do not have a race next weekend, but the following weekend they'll be in Azerbaijan at the Baku City Circuit. That's September 21st. Broadcast apparently is 4 a.m. on ESPN because of time zones. Blah 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 blah. I like Baku. Last couple of races haven't been so exciting, but I like the city track. And I like some of those corners are crazy cool, but they're just in the last 2 or 3 years, it hasn't been nearly as exciting as it was when we originally started watching. And it seemed like there were a lot more crashes. There was a lot more things. And now it doesn't seem like there's as many. I mean, if they are, they're not very race altering. You know what I mean?
This year, it feels like there's a lot less crashes as a general rule.
As a general rule.
Yeah.
But anyway.
There's been more battling for like upper positions, I think, but a lot less crashes.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got 8 races left. Baku is one of my favorite ones. I like that one. After that, I don't know, on the rest of them on the circuit, I mean, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, those are cool. But
Coda, LA, or
Coda's not bad. Las Vegas, I'm not a big fan of the race itself. The track, the circuit, I don't know, something's weird.
Apparently all the drivers really like it.
Oh, all right. Good for them.
It's basically America's Monza.
I like
high speed, like sharp turns. Yeah.
I like the Mexican track that goes through the baseball stadium, and go right. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. I thought that's what they were going to do in Miami, was have it go through Hard Rock Stadium, but nah. So
logistically, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, but look at that. You could fill that with 60,000 people just inside the frickin' stadium as it goes roaring through. That'd be the place to have the start finish line right there. Boom.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. So anyway.
You know where you could probably do that is Arizona, because they pull their field out. They already have the ability to
Oh yeah, it's true.
pull it out and like leave like a run through. I
Yeah.
don't know what the other side looks like, but
Yeah.
maybe we can do a little
'Kay.
little construction. We can get a Phoenix Grand Prix.
Can we get the Formula One cars to get onto the Brickyard at Indy and race one race? That'd be
Maybe.
fun. That'd be fun to watch, just to see.
Maybe.
I mean, that'd be kind. They do NASCAR there, so
That's true.
if you're doing Indy cars and NASCAR, why can't you have Formula One come race one? They might not be able to go as fast, but it would be interesting. It would be cool. It'd be a neat place to race if you had them racing on other tracks.
I think one through Chicago would be pretty cool in terms of city races. Like you could have it go down Michigan Avenue.
Down by the water.
It's like a mile long, yeah. Then down by the waterfront,
Yeah.
and problem is like there's nowhere to like outside of the Strip in Vegas. There's space.
Yeah, you can't
to
shut
put
down
things.
Chicago.
There's no space in Chicago to do it. That'd be
There-
like saying, "Hey, we're gonna run it in New York City."
Chicago would agree to it as long as you run it at 1 a.m.
As long as you run it at 1
Right,
a.m.
so you don't hamper my commute.
And also keep the damn noise down.
Yeah, dang it. And you must agree to buy so many Chicago dogs and deep dish pizza. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so they're going to be in Baku. Not this coming weekend, the following weekend. Right now we're getting to that time of the year where they take time off. We race a week, we take a week. We race a week, we take a week, kind of thing, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think the next back-to-back is until
Coda
Coda and
Mexico. Yeah, those are back to
Yeah.
back.
So there's little spaces, and there's 2 weeks between Singapore and Coda.
It's weird.
So
There's so much.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
it's only 1 week off. October the 10th they won't race, or October the 12th they won't race. October the 19th.
Oh, I
they do
suppose
race.
that's a good way. Yeah.
Right. So they're taking like 1 week in between. It's just weird. to
The
me.
thing that I've never understood is, all right, you want like, and we talk about travel. You've mentioned it, like, how are you not able to do this? Blah blah blah. There is not a week off between Las Vegas and Qatar.
Yeah, they managed to get there, right?
And that's confusing to me because logistically, that seems like one of the most difficult ones.
Is Las Vegas race on a Saturday?
It's technically Saturday night.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. They do have it at night. I forget that. It's an
Yeah, it's
8
in the
p.m. Yeah,
Thursday night practices,
That's
Friday
right.
night qualifying, Saturday night race.
that's true. I forgot about that. So they don't.
But
I was
because,
thinking.
it starts at like 11.
I'm thinking, oh, they got an extra day. Well, not really. They don't really have an extra day.
They don't really. No.
no. But yeah, no, I don't know
As a
how.
matter of fact, they'll lose that day traveling to the Middle East.
Right. Yeah. No, we can't cancel the Sunday part and race on Monday because we won't have enough time to get from Spa to Zandvoort. And I'm like, what? They're like 50 miles apart. You could drive
Yeah.
there. You could just drive the car.
I read an article not that long ago. I want to say it was like a month or so ago, and it talked about like the process of traveling.
Yeah.
Some of the weeks are strategic in terms of like there's there's driver contracts with the FIA that say like we get breaks not at certain times, but like if we've done a certain volume, there's needs to be a break. So there's part of that, but the other part of it is obviously other events that are going on. Why are we doing it now versus this week versus that week? Because there's another event going on that's gonna, and if we do F1 and the Netherlands Flower Festival, we're not gonna have any room for people to park their bikes.
Their bikes, yeah. They do.
Their bikes.
They do 3 in a row twice.
To end the season.
Well, they do 3.
Right?
They do 3. Yeah, 3 times. So they do 3 in
Oh,
a
you're
row.
talking about Monaco.
They do. Yeah, they do.
That's right.
They do 3 in a row 3 times during the year, but that's the most they ever do. There's never more. They don't race like 4 consecutive weekends. There's always a weekend off somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah. But the more common phrase is like two and then a break.
Two and a break. Yeah, that's kind of how it normally goes.
But late season's weird.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
We got to talk about the Ducks. Oregon playing their second game of the year, right, at home against Oklahoma State, and there was some talk beforehand between Mike Gundy and Dan Lanning. They seem to be buddies at the game though. Before the game.
I don't know if you want to say there was talk between them.
Well,
right.
Talk about. I mean, there was a
Each
comment.
person was talking about the other program. Yeah.
Yeah, about paying to win and you know what? That's what you have to do anymore. If you want to be
Yeah.
successful, you're going to have to start paying players. I mean, you got to start
Mike Gundy was
buying.
3-8 last year. Like
Yeah.
his opinion on college football landscape is
Well,
becoming more dated.
I still respect him because he's a man. He's 40, and
He is
then,
40.
well, I think he's much older than that now.
He's
I don't. That was a
104.
long time ago. I mean, when he said that, he's been coaching for 20 something years. So, anyway,
Jesus.
yeah, I know. Ducks come out in this one, scored 2 touchdowns in 3 plays, and it was over. It was effectively over. Noah Whittington, woo, with a 59-yard burst, or it was ridiculous, right? He just goes, and I watched them diagram the play. I watched them show what's supposed to happen and the gap that's supposed to open and how they're supposed to lure the linebackers to go this direction, and it literally worked exactly how the guy was saying it was supposed to work. And I watched it from when they drew it up, and I was like, yep, there goes Noah, bye, and he just gone. He reminded me of, Michael James, Kenyon Barner, all those guys from the past, right? Hitting a hole and he's just gone.
Yeah.
Which was great. I don't think he's quite that fast as those guys, but he's fast. He's got 4 carries for 91 yards. And so if you take away the 59-yarder, right, it still leaves him with 3 carries for 32 yards, which is 10 yards a carry.
Carry.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Jaden Lamar, 6 carries for 87 yards. It's 14.5 yards a carry. He had a 53.
Is as fast
as
those guys.
Yeah, he is.
He's so fast.
Yep. DeCorian Moore had 1 carry for 25 yards. The rushing attack was 312 yards. The passing attack was 319 yards. That's about as balanced as you can get. That's 631 yards in probably 3 quarters, because by the 4th quarter they weren't doing anything. Weren't even trying really to do anything other than just, we want the game to be over, right?
Once the third stringers went in, nothing was really happening anymore.
Oklahoma State did run for 144 yards. They did 3.4 yards a carry, 42 carries for 144 yards.
Mostly in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it was when the game was over. They were running the ball a lot, but and after what's his name? After Flores threw the back-to-back pick sixes, basically, and sealed the whole thing. You don't want to throw the ball anymore. I mean,
well, and they had the majority. You said they had
144 yards receiving or rushing. Sorry, rushing yards.
So probably 60 of those yards were that one drive by that one guy.
Yeah,
that big back that they brought in for a single drive, used him to death, only to not score any points when they got in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, their longest rush was 14 yards. So
yeah,
I mean, they didn't have it. I mean, the receiving. Their leading receiver had 2 catches for 34 yards. Here's the fun part about that. His longest catch was 35 yards. So he had a -1 and a 35.
Right.
But only 7 guys caught passes for, 6 guys caught passes for Oklahoma State, and 5 of them caught 1 pass. They just couldn't do anything. They were literally just stumped defensively, offensively. It didn't matter what they did. Oregon was on top of it. They came out fired up. It was a complete looking game. And then afterwards they asked Dan Lanning about it. What can you do? What do you, after a game like that, what do you? Well, we had 5 first half penalties. We got to clean that up. I like that. Might be a little nitpicky, but I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, I watched most of the game. I will not tell you that I watched the whole 4th quarter because I didn't. I wanted to watch some other football. Yeah, I wanted to watch some other football. But I was super impressed at everything that they did. I mean, Oregon was the only team, I think, in the top 25 this week who played. There was only 2. There were only 2 teams who played in the top 25 who played an FBS opponent and won. And that was Oklahoma and Oregon.
Really?
Yep. They were the only 2.
Is Grambling not an FBS team?
No. Grambling. Oh, sorry, a Power 4. Let me back up. One of those Power 4 conferences. Yeah. Yeah, there are other teams. Yeah, there are other teams.
But I definitely know other teams.
A Power 4 opponent, right? One of the Power 4 conferences. Yeah. Everybody else played, gimme games. That's not true. That won. Yeah, because Arizona State lost, right, to Mississippi State, and SMU lost to Baylor. Those are
Florida Florida State? Who'd they play?
East Texas A&M.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, they smoked whoever they played. So
Yeah.
them and Ohio State both scored 70 points, and it was just against junior colleges.
I have never seen this many points scored in a week in college football in my entire life. I'm not Utah 63. Oh, we haven't even talked about that. Never mind. What else do you want to say about the Oregon Ducks? They're going to play Northwestern this weekend at Northwestern. They got to go to Ryan Field. They're near the water. And that should be interesting. Northwestern's not a great football team. Oregon's going to be a gigantic favorite. They probably already are. I don't know what the line is right at the moment, but
We're a four score favorite.
That's a gigantic road favorite. But yeah,
but we were a gigantic home favorite. That was surprising.
It's the opening of conference play. You got to come out and get that win. A 9 a.m. game, by the way, on Saturday on Fox. Ugh. Yeah, I know, right? So
the only thing I hate about being in this conference is that we're going to play games against Rutgers. We're going to play games against Northwestern, and they're going to be I'm going to say meaningless. I'm going to say meaningless games. They're not really significant challenges.
Right.
But if you want to be a fan, you have to be up early.
Well,
you'll be up.
the Big Ten with their 11 a.m. kickoffs, right? 11 a.m. in the Midwest is 9 a.m. here. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
27.5 is our point spread right now.
Yeah, they don't want to make it 28, right? Because you won't bet on it.
God forbid we score that 5th touchdown or whatever.
well, we just beat Oklahoma State by 66, so covered the spread pretty good.
I wouldn't have guessed that was going to happen.
I wouldn't have either. I was just hoping it was going to be an easy, comfortable win, and it was by the second quarter. It was done. Yeah, that game was terrible to watch if you're an Oklahoma State fan or any other football fan. If you're not an Oregon Duck fan, you probably just tuned out and go, nah, whatever, right? But anyway, yeah. So looking forward to next week. Looking forward to opening Big Ten. Right? We haven't lost a regular season Big Ten game yet. There's your stat of the day. So perfect 9-0. And
this was the game we had circled, other than Penn State and maybe Iowa on the road. This was the game we had circled for. Is this going to be the upset? I remember I got the messages on Friday. Is Oregon on upset alert?
For Northwestern?
No.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oklahoma State was the game we had circled outside of Penn State and Iowa at Iowa that were like, these could be concerns.
We're going to talk about a couple more here in just a minute because I think there's more concerns down the line. But anyway, you ready? Rest of the Big Ten? All right, so let's move on. The rest of the Big Ten. So Ohio State with a 70-0 win over Grambling.
Yep.
Penn State 34-0 over FIU.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois with a fairly comfortable 45-19 win over Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan lost to Oklahoma at Oklahoma, 24-13. They didn't look good. Neither team actually looked very good. But Michigan didn't look very good. I don't know if that's Oklahoma's defense or just Michigan stumbling. Michigan's supposed to have that woohoo quarterback. He comes out and I'm like, he didn't look very good.
The thing that I don't like is when an Oklahoma-Michigan game is a defensive battle, it's 24-13, right?
Yeah.
It's a defensive battle, really. Everyone's like, they didn't look good. But when Ohio State and Texas is 14-7, they were like, what a matchup.
Right. Yeah, no.
It's like, these teams both have better offenses than Ohio State and Texas in theory. I mean, based on like results against other ranked teams, it's just all about whatever you want to put on. But you're right. I did watch this game and I thought, they're okay teams. I think they're pretty evenly matched.
Well, Haynes for Michigan, 19 carries, 125 yards. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a good day, right? With a touchdown, 6.6 yards a carry. Although 75 of those were on one carry.
It's not bad.
So there's that. But Underwood, the quarterback for Michigan, who was super highly number one quarterback, blah blah blah, 9 of 24 for 142 yards. He didn't throw an interception, to his credit.
Thank God.
Yeah, he didn't he didn't lose it. Michigan didn't even turn the ball over. I mean,
again, defensive battle, like 3 and outs.
Yeah, and Oklahoma did turn the ball over. One interception thrown by Mateer. Mateer's an interesting guy. He led the team in rushing, but it was only 3.9 yards a carry. But he had Mateer, the quarterback. Mater?
First time I saw his name, I went, is that Mater?
Yeah.
Because I missed the knee in there.
Yeah. So he had 2 touchdowns rushing, but again, 3.9 yards a carry. All right. And he was 21 of 34, 270, a touchdown, but he also threw an interception. It was kind of meh. Oklahoma left me wanting, and Michigan left me wanting even more. So I'm like, okay, well, considering the way everybody else won,
Yeah.
this game was kind of meh.
It was just all right.
Yeah, it was just all right. All right. Also, let's see. Iowa State beat Iowa 16-13 in classic Iowa State matchup. That comes down to a field goal at the end of every freaking time, and they don't score any points. I don't understand why.
Nothing surprising.
Why nothing grows in Iowa.
No points. Nothing.
No points grown anyway. Indiana 62-14 over Kent State. Northwestern with a 42-7 win over Western Illinois. Maryland with a 20-9 win over Northern Illinois. And I feel sorry for all the directional Illinois schools, Southern, Western, Northern. They seem to play all of the Big Ten schools and just get beat up on.
Well, so do all the directional Michigan schools.
That's true.
Every year I got to hear about Ohio State, Western Michigan.
Minnesota with a 66-0 win over Northwestern State. Wisconsin 42-10 over Middle Tennessee State. That game was 14-10 at the half. And then Wisconsin decided to play football. Rutgers 45-17 over Miami of Ohio. Nebraska 68-0 over Akron. USC with a 59-20 win over Georgia Southern. Michigan State with a 42-40 win in double overtime against BC. That game was actually pretty good. Purdue's 2-0 with a 34-17 win over Southern Illinois. UCLA's 0-2 with their second loss. This one to UNLV 30-23. And then Washington beat the crap out of UC Davis 70-10. It was the first time in Big Ten history that 5 teams scored 60-plus points on the same weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, and USC had 59. If they just scored one more point, it would have been another team. So, but this is what I'm saying when I say when there were so many points. This is the average score here is 40-something, 48 or 49 for these schools. I mean, it's damn near 50 when you throw in all the.
But the early, like I guarantee you, if you look back across history, I mean, this might be one of the biggest ones, but I guarantee you look at like, hey, what do week 2s usually look like? It's like, high scoring because they're playing no one.
Well, let me continue then. You ready?
Yeah.
So on the national stage, LSU had a 23-7 win over Louisiana Tech. And by the way, why does LSU get the love? They get a free pass for beating Louisiana Tech barely. When other teams that won barely dropped in the polls. How come Louisiana State it gets a bye? That's my
also
question.
Calling them Louisiana State, I hate it. Just call them LSU.
They're still Louisiana State University.
I agree. They are, and I never hear you call them Southern Cal.
The University of Southern Carolina. Well, I have to. I kind of have to now because if you're talking about South Carolina, they're USC too.
But no, they're not USC. They're South Carolina. Nationally, they're South Carolina, and the other one's USC.
Agreed.
LSU is LSU nationally.
USC tried to rebrand themselves, right, as Southern Cal or something, right? Remember that? Yeah, they wanted to not.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? They tried to be Southern Cal and not USC. They were trying to get away from it. I don't remember why. I don't remember what the reason.
It wasn't recently, and it didn't work.
It was probably 10 or 12 years ago, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, it was a weird thing. So yeah, I don't. LSU gets some love for some reason. I don't know why, but they stayed where they were in the poll. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Georgia with a 28-6 win over Austin Peay. I went to Austin Peay. We lived in the town where Austin Peay is. They're not very good, but somehow or other, Georgia struggled with Austin Peay. It was a gigantic struggle, and they paid the price. They fell, right? They won by more points than LSU did, and they fell, and LSU did not. And I'm like, because it's Austin Peay, or I mean, maybe Austin Peay's got a good team this year. I don't know. We won't know till later. I didn't see either of those games, by the way, but I know that they had rain delays in the southeast, lightning delays. There's a lot of bad weather, so I know Georgia was one of those victims of that. So was the South Carolina game. Tennessee, I think, was it Tennessee? One of those games. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of games that had rain delays, so that can cause a lot of problems, but starting and stopping. Miami over Bethune, 45-3. Texas, 38-7 over San Jose. Clemson struggled with Troy. That was one of those delayed games, 27-16. It was 16-3 Troy at the half. 16-3, Troy was leading. and then they gave up 24 points in the second half and just. South Carolina beat South Carolina State 38-10. Arizona State we talked about. They fell to Mississippi State. Florida got upset by USF 18-16. I don't know. And then you had the other big scores. Florida State scored 77. Bama scored 73. Tennessee scored 72. Texas Tech scored 62. Utah scored 63. There's a lot of freaking points in the top 25 because then you throw in Ohio State and you throw in Oregon and there is a shit ton of points being scored. I feel like I've never seen that many 60 and 70 point games in one weekend before. I don't have the research to back that up. I just feel like that's kind of what I saw was everybody had 60 points.
Kind of seemed like it.
It
a lot
did.
of people were playing nobodies.
Arch Manning had a rumor of shoulder pain. Well, there were rumors going around. They had some shoulder pain, and immediately Steve Sarkisian got angry at the reporter for asking that question about shoulder pain. He goes, "Well, did Arch tell you that?" Well, then blah blah blah. Blah. I'm like, okay, well, if you got grumpy about it, then I hit a nerve, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe Steve was drinking again. I don't know. Anyway, too soon.
By the way, you are right. So the most 60-point games in a single college football weekend in the AP poll era is September 6, 2025, when there were 8 such games. This is a record for the AP poll area. The previous instance of 7 games decided by 60 points or more occurred on the same day, September 6th, 2014. What did I say about week 2?
It is that when you do the
that's when you play your garbage teams.
There's a little flash in week 1 with those good matchups because you want to lose early, right? If you're gonna lose, and then week 2 is the breather.
And we were a point away from having 9 games,
right.
But also looking back on that weekend, we could have been a point away from having 9 games that weekend too.
Yeah,
or a couple points away.
There's just so many points being scored. It's just crazy. Every time you turn around, it's like, and then everybody's giving Florida State love for scoring 77 points. I said, yeah, it's East Texas A&M. I didn't even know there was an East Texas A&M. I can't even tell you where that is, and I don't even know what conference they're in. Because I never heard the team before. I've never heard of that school.
You want to play? You want to play a little game real quick?
Sure.
Do you want to guess what the 7 teams who scored 60+ points were in 2014?
Oh wow! In week 2.
Yeah.
In 2014. So one of them's probably Oregon.
It was not.
Oh,
We beat Michigan State that
because we had a tough game. Yeah,
we were at that game.
But we scored.
Were at that game?
No,
I was at that game.
I was not. They scored 40 something, right, against Michigan State.
46-27.
Yeah. Okay, so Alabama.
Hold on.
It's always a good choice.
All right. I'm pulling it up again. Sorry, I had sorted by top 25, so I was missing like 2.
Okay.
Let's see here. Alabama did not.
Really? 2014. Okay. Oklahoma.
Oh, that's another great guess. No, not Oklahoma.
So nobody that I know. No teams that I know.
They're all teams that you know. It's just
Florida.
Florida did. That is correct. Okay. Florida beat Eastern Michigan, one of the directional Michigans.
Yep. LSU.
65-0. LSU did not.
Good Lord.
56 though.
Georgia.
Was this a good period of time for Georgia?
I don't know. I don't remember. I can't tell you. But it depends on who you're playing too, though. I mean, you could just have one of those games too.
That's true. No, they did not. Hold on. There was one other SEC team. Sorry, 2 other SEC teams to score 60.
In 2014.
2014. One of them was ranked number 9th, and one of them was unranked.
Texas A&M.
That's right, 73-3.
Okay, and
I think was that Johnny Manziel, 2014,
roughly, yeah,
around that time, yeah. And the other one is a team that had been good, but was kind of in a slump. Yes, they were unranked, but they played a nobody.
Ole Miss.
No, it was Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay, there you go.
Arkansas.
That's tough. See, those are tough.
Trying to look back and think who was good at that time. It really kind of throws you off. Baylor won 70-6.
Yeah. They were really good.
Another team. Clemson won 73-7
That doesn't
in a
surprise me.
game. Louisville won 66-21.
Louisville. Was that Lamar?
That would have been Lamar. Yeah, that would have been Lamar
Yeah, there you
Jackson,
go.
like first year or second year, something like that.
Yeah.
Appalachian State was the final team.
They scored how many?
66-0 over Campbell.
Oh, well, yeah, Campbell, yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. One more. Georgia Southern, 83-9
Georgia Southern.
over
Yeah.
Savannah State.
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah,
Savannah
this
State,
is the
Savannah.
week people schedule the games they don't care about.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, there was a lot of offense. It was a lot of fun to watch. There was a lot of scoring. Which, if you like offense, which I do, then yeah, this was good.
What was the biggest upset of this weekend for you?
We only had what, 2 ranked teams? I guess we had 3. 2 ranked teams? 2 ranked teams that lost, right? 3.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. Yeah, we had 3 ranked teams that lost. So, and I don't know. I don't think Florida was that good. I mean, I think Florida was overrated. And
they're overrated every year. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess the biggest one had to have been Arizona State, but I don't know that was either.
That they were that good.
That they were that good, right? I mean, Arizona State, Florida State, and SMU were the 3 ranked teams that lost. And
and Michigan.
and Michigan. And I don't know if that was a huge upset. I mean,
I don't think any of them were major upsets. I think they were all minor upsets. Like 18 beats 15. I mean, your probably biggest one is that South Florida beat Florida.
Right.
Just because it's 2 teams that are not even in, one team's not even in Power 4.
Yeah.
And the other one is. And one of them's Florida, who was ranked 13th. Right. So you expect a lot out of them, but yeah, they were definitely all exciting. I did not think South Florida was going to pull it off, though. Like, I was watching the final quarter of that game, and I'm like, when are they going to blow this?
They're going to give it away. Yeah, they're giving it away. Yep. Let's just say this about the Big Ten schedule this coming week, which, we talked about Oregon and Northwestern. Wisconsin plays at Alabama. That's also 9 a.m. on ABC competing, because Alabama and Oregon always play at the same time. I don't know how that works, but it apparently is the thing. Michigan's got to play Central Michigan, and they could go 1-2. They could be, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to come back and win.
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. Purdue and USC are both unbeaten playing each other. Right?
Yeah. Unbeaten through 2 weeks means so little.
It could mean so little. I mean, it could.
It means a lot to Purdue people.
Right.
But it's not like who you beat or teams that we expect you to beat.
Minnesota and Cal are both 2-0 playing each other.
It's a weird one. That's a weird matchup.
Illinois could go 3-0 with a win over Western Michigan. I think they will. Yeah, and then other than that, they're, the rest of the games. Villanova's not a gimme for Penn State, by the way. Penn State can say what they want. Villanova's historically been pretty good. They had, it's only been a few years they've moved up to FBS, but I'd be careful. Watch out.
But outside of the Big Ten, it seems like the real gem of the weekend is A&M Notre Dame.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of the top 25 teams playing. I mean, Clemson and Georgia Tech, that's a good game.
Georgia Tennessee
is going to be a good football game. That I'd pay money to watch that one.
Well, you do. It's called your cable bill.
South Florida and Miami are playing, which is on
South Florida going to do 2 in a row. No,
I know, right?
Rushed.
If South Florida beats Miami, they will be crowned kings of Florida. I mean, they didn't play Florida State.
They'll be national champions.
Yeah, for sure.
Just put up a banner.
They're playing on the CW network. That's how good this game is. I don't know. I'm like, all right.
They should get crushed.
Arkansas and Ole Miss are both 2-0. They're playing each other. The Texas A&M Notre Dame game, that's a big deal. Vanderbilt and South Carolina are both 2-0. They're playing each other. Utah and Wyoming are both 2-0. They're playing each other. So there's some good games. It could be interesting, or they're gonna smack those teams the way they probably should. LSU and Florida is an intriguing matchup to me. I don't think LSU is as good as everybody thinks LSU is, and I think Florida's gonna be pissed. So
yeah, good chance for LSU to have an upset game.
Right.
and Florida coach to once again save his job.
Yeah. If he wins one big game, then yeah, it's a big deal, right?
And then the boosters calm down and they're like, all right, we'll give you another chance.
Yeah, that's exactly how it sounds. Oklahoma plays at Temple. They're both 2-0. Anyway, there's some good games. I don't know that it's going to be great. Indiana and Indiana State play Friday on the Big Ten Network.
That's not a good game.
They're both 2-0. Come on.
So who gives
Hype
a
it up.
crap?
You got to hype it up.
No, you don't have to just. I mean, there's going to be other games this week that are teams that are 2-0 that don't matter.
When this game,
Alcorn State and Mississippi State. No, wait, never mind. That's not
when
2-0.
when Indiana and Indiana State go into 5 overtimes Friday night, you're going to regret what you said.
Vanderbilt, South Carolina are both 2-0.
I know, right? That's what I said earlier. Vanderbilt, they're right there.
At South Carolina, who just lost their starting quarterback.
If Vanderbilt, I mean, if there's ever going to be a time to go into South Carolina and win,
now's it.
Now's it, right?
Now's time.
Go get it done. Anyway, let's talk about the NFL because we got to do that. If I can figure out. Oh wait, here's top 25 after week 2, regardless of what's her name? Haley? Was it Haley?
Haley something or
Sawyer
another
or
from
Sawyer,
California.
yeah.
Sawyer.
Sawyer, yeah. Despite what she picked, which we have no idea how that impacted officially any of the teams, but not a whole lot of movement other than, like I said, they didn't move LSU, but they did move Georgia down 2 spots, right? Which means Oregon moved up 1. They did move Clemson down from 8 to 12. They punished them for beating a team. It was weird to me. The losses are weird, right? Why is Arizona State still on this chart? Why? Mississippi State's not on this chart. So if you didn't lose to a ranked team, you lost to an unranked team, and you were a ranked team, I feel like at this point in the season, you should be out. Let's just kick you out until you prove yourself and you beat somebody. I don't know. I still think there's probably teams on this chart that are on this poll that are underrated. I'm looking at you, Utah. Right? I mean, I think that's a better team than people are thinking that is. BYU didn't move at all. Stayed 25th in the coaches poll. They're only in the 1 poll, but they didn't move at all. South Florida jumped into 18th in the AP poll from that win over a terrible Florida team. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I have yet to figure out how the polls work. Would you have done that? Would you have said, "Oh, okay, Florida, you lost to South Florida, and we're going to drop you right out the poll, but we're going to put South Florida at 18th." I don't think that's where my mind would have gone. So.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine a scenario where you go, "Oh, let's do it this way," unless you're Haley so and so.
Haley, yeah, Haley's. These are probably directly reflecting Haley's votes. But anyway,
that's right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see as we go. I mean, it's only
Can
2
you
weeks.
just look at people's entire AP.
Yeah, you're
submission?
supposed to be able to. They're supposed to be open, but I don't
never
know how
bothered
you
to
go
do
find
it,
it. I think if you go to
maybe next week I'll do it.
the Associated Press website, I think you can actually find the voting. But I'm not 100% certain. Don't quote me. But I seem to remember that seems to ring a bell. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Like I said, Oregon and Penn State coming up in 3 weeks. So watch out for that. That's going to be the first. Well, not the first. I guess the Ohio State-Texas game was a shaker, if you want to call it that. They didn't penalize Texas very much. Huh?
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
No, that's true. There's 2 games between now and then. I mean,
Northwestern is a team that shouldn't beat us, but the one thing I've always known is if you take a slightly dynamic quarterback and throw them into a pressure situation, sometimes they do crazy crap.
They do.
And they become very difficult all of a sudden. And a game that you were expected to kind of cakewalk, like all of a sudden becomes difficult. I think we got Oregon State no problem because I think that they're just a hot mess.
They haven't looked very good so far.
But Northwestern has no expectations of being good or trying to be good. Oregon State is still trying to stay relevant in football. Northwestern's like, we're just happy producing doctors and lawyers, man. Like, this is a good deal for us.
Yeah.
So,
okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. 22.5 points a game. That's what Northwestern's carrying in here. But they're only allowing 15 a game. So, they're on the plus side. But to be fair, they haven't played anybody. They lost to Tulane and they beat Western Illinois. Yeah. So I feel like this is going to be one of those games where 27.5 points is not enough. Hopefully that'll be the case for Oregon. Anyway, if you're an Oregon fan. All right, let's move into the NFL. We got some stuff to talk about. NFL kicked off with a bang. Let's call it that way. On Thursday night, the Cowboys and Eagles played, and I saw the best headline after the game that I have ever seen, maybe in sports, and that was Cowboys come within spitting distance of beating the Eagles. And I laughed so hard at that. I was like, yes, you just earned your money.
Some people, some people's kids, right?
Right. After the whole spitting incident at the beginning of the game, which we aren't even going to get into because you shouldn't spit on people. Let's just say that. Don't spit on people.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
There were the first 8 possessions of the game were all scores. Both teams. Cowboys and Eagles scored on the first 8 possessions. That carried over to the first possession of the second half. And then what happened? Lightning. Well, there's lightning in there. We had a lightning delay. Guess what? They didn't score again. Neither team.
They didn't score again?
Yeah, neither team scored again after the lightning delay.
Huh.
Right?
Oh, I didn't even notice it like
weird.
that.
It was weird. I'm like, okay, lightning scared the shit out of them and nobody scored. I don't know, but they couldn't stop them from scoring the first 8 possessions. Neither team stopped the other team. And then all of a sudden, neither team scored again. Weird.
So strange.
It is so strange. It was, CeeDee Lamb's a good wide receiver. I don't think he struggles out there because sometimes he's the only thing they have, the only thing Dak Prescott has to throw to, I think. The only dynamic person he has to throw to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Cowboys are not terrible. They're just not going to be, if you're expecting them to win 11 or 12 games, you're mistaken.
I like Cowboys are not terrible. They're not.
They're not great. They're not terrible. You know what I mean?
The thing about it is like when people can come out sometimes and try and put up surprises, I don't think the Cowboys are very good. But that being said, they've been a pretty consistent 20-plus point team for the past however many years Dak's been there, other than when Dak's hurt.
Right.
They often have a pretty decent offense.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just can't do it.
Right.
That next thing.
That next thing, yeah, whatever that is. But it is what it is. And, of course, they're playing without Micah Parsons now because they traded him away. But I don't know. I would have taken Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and the Eagles 99 times out of 100 against the Cowboys right now. Just they're that much better, and yet they didn't look that much better. It was a close game. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good way to start the season because it had all that stuff. It had spitting, we had an ejection, we had the lightning delay, we had teams scoring at will and then not scoring again. It was almost everything you could want, almost in a football game. And then came Friday's game, right? Next thing you know, we're watching Chargers Chiefs, right? And the Chargers have won head to head between Herbert and Mahomes. Chargers have won 1 game. But now they have 2. This game was close. It was kind of back and forth. Chargers couldn't really pull away. It didn't feel like. They kind of kept the Chiefs in it. And of course, Pat Mahomes with his stupid passing magic that just fall into the ground, no problem. I'll just flick it down here and we'll get a completion.
Yeah, sometimes he is so uncomfortably good.
Yeah, you're going to chase me all the way to the sideline and you're almost ready to crush me. And, well, look, there's a guy wide open. I'll just throw it to him, right? I mean, like, how does that happen? But it happens, and it happens a lot. But this was a 1-score game they did not win. Remember they won every 1-score game last year just about? They did not. Yeah. They did not win this one. 27-21 was the final. Herbert's 25 of 34 for 318 and 3 touchdowns and 1 beautiful slide at the end of the game to seal things. It was a very good looking. If you were putting out after week 1 a list of NFL MVPs, he's in that list, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you probably top 4 or 5, I would think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes was okay, but he wasn't Pat Mahomes. He wasn't the same. 24 of 39, 258 yards and a touchdown. It doesn't look terrible. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel good, I guess. Is that the right way to say it?
That is the right way to say it.
Yeah, I mean they were okay. They just and the rushing game only picked up 98 yards, but it was 5.8 yards a carry. They just don't want to run the football for some
They
reason.
just don't. Yeah.
I don't
They
understand.
really avoid it.
Yeah, and then of course Xavier Worthy getting hurt because Travis Kelce took him out, just literally laid him out. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to.
Yeah, I was saying he didn't do it on purpose.
But he laid him
yeah.
out. I mean, they ran straight at each other. I'm like, one of you guys should have turned. But Kelce got his touchdown. This was all happening in Brazil, by the way.
Freaking Brazil.
Frickin' Brazil. That's where it all happens. That's where Xavier Worthy's career ended with a shoulder fracture or something. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna go that far. But it looked painful. I mean, when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, and I'm like, didn't Travis see him? Could he not just turn or move over, like take a side step, try and dive? He didn't even try and dive out of the way. They just ran right into each other. Boom. Okay. All right.
Well, Travis took responsibility for it in this podcast today. Yeah, he said that it was his fault, but
it was
still, he clobbered. He clobbered it.
He clobbered him. Yeah, Quentin Johnston had 2 receiving touchdowns for the Chargers, 5 catches overall, 79 yards. Lad McConkey, 6 catches, 74 yards. Keenan Allen's back. He had a touchdown catch. There's enough weapons there on the Chargers. You know, they only ran for 90 yards. They don't really want to run it either. Omarion Hampton wasn't super effective. He had 48 yards on 15 carries. That's 3.2. They weren't super effective running the football. Other than Justin Herbert, but he wasn't even. He only had 32 yards. It wasn't even that good. So I think the game was kind of, you know, I wanted the Chargers to. I wanted to feel secure, like they were going to pull away and just. And I didn't feel secure until Herbert pulled that ball out and slid. You know what I mean? He ran around and I was like, holy cow, 19-yard run to end the game and seal it up and waste the clock. But you didn't. You still felt like, oh, Kansas City's going to do something. Because they always do. Anyway.
Because they always do.
They always do. Yeah, that was a little frustrating. Anyway, let's talk about the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Broncos beat the Titans 20-12 in Denver. It was kind of ugly. Kind of maybe underselling
offensively.
it. kind of, yeah. I might
offensively, we looked ugly.
Well, your defense.
I don't even know if I'd say we looked ugly. We looked
well,
not menacing. I don't know what's the opposite of not menacing. What is not menacing? We looked. Our offense looked pedestrian,
shallow and pedantic.
Shallow and pedantic.
I don't know. Bo Nix is 25 for 40, 176 yards and a touchdown to Cortland Sutton. I didn't. He also threw 2 interceptions. We've got to throw that out there. And had a QBR of 19.2. But that's okay because Cam Ward had a QBR of 7.3 in his first effort. He was 12 of 28 for 112 yards in his NFL debut.
Not great.
They only had 180 yards of freaking offense, Tennessee. Period. Like 71 rushing and 112 passing. There was nothing. Which is why we say the Denver defense was that good.
It is.
Bo lost a fumble as well. So he threw 2 interceptions, lost a fumble. Didn't look great. But you know what? Winning seems to gloss over all that for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, if he would have won with Cam's stat line, I don't think you gloss over it. But at one point in this game, Bo Nix was down to like a 50% completion rating.
Yeah.
And over the course of the rest of the game, he pulled it up.
I hear you.
And you were like, all right, so things started going. Sean was doing some interesting play calling things with some quirky screens and things like that. Which, by the way, hold on. I know it's a huge throwback. But did you see that triple reverse flicker screen pass that the Ducks ran?
That Oregon ran, yes, I did.
Oh my God!
And I don't think.
Can you imagine if you could pull that off in the NFL?
I'm just gonna say this: when I played football in high school, had someone done that to me, I probably just would have walked off the field. I mean, I would have just said, I just would have said,
you felt so like, oh
yeah,
crap.
I would have watched all that happen and then watched them run right by me probably, and I was like, what the hell just happened? What did I just see?
What was this play? I walked downstairs and I was like, Cassie, are you watching the Duck game? And she was watching the Tennessee game and she goes, no. And I go, all right, I'm going to show you a highlight in a few minutes, and you have to be amazed by it. And she watched it, and she had the same reaction I did. Was like, what did they do? Oh my God, he's got all linemen.
All of them. They're all out
All of the
there.
linemen were available to block.
How did they do
That
that?
being said, there was definitely an illegal man down.
Well, I mean,
Definitely. But holy crap, it
I know
worked
it was
well.
crazy.
And then the freaking running back outran the blockers.
The blocking, yeah. He just
Yeah, that
stayed
was
back
so
a little. He needed a little, patience.
But so Sean Payton was trying some interesting play calls and trying to do some things. I think he did this last year where he came out in game one, was like, we're gonna try and do all this wild stuff. And it's just too wild for week one. Like, rein it in just a little bit. Stick to the bread and butter. And then also, Bo didn't run once in the first half.
Yeah.
Didn't run the ball a single time. In the second half, he ran the ball a handful of times.
Yeah.
And that started exposing the defense a little bit and
yeah.
opening passes. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, our offense did not look great.
Not
and
great.
Yeah, it kind of gets glossed over a little bit with a win, but
J.K. Dobbins had 63 yards and a touchdown. He wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. The one long run by Harvey was 50 yards, but he only had 70 yards total. So
I just don't get how an NFL running back isn't outrunning people. Like, aren't you here for speed?
You would think there's some size and power you got to have, right? Just we've seen speed guys come from Oregon and not do well.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
D'Anthony Thomas, right, fastest man alive, still couldn't quite run through the line. You get hit by a tackle, and now or get hit by Travis Kelce, and you're done.
You hit by Travis Kelce. It isn't even always the other team.
It is, yeah. Friendly fire is a thing.
Yeah.
We watched a lot of, and your mom and I were sitting there watching games during the weekend, and it wasn't not just the NFL, but in college too. There was a lot of friendly fire injuries. We saw a lot of people getting hit by their own dudes, and yeah, it's interesting.
My favorite video of the weekend, and I know we'll talk about them. Actually, I'll just wait until we cover that game. All
okay.
Right.
Maybe. Anyway, I don't know what we're covering.
You're gonna mention the score, and I'm gonna talk about it.
I am gonna mention the score. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we had that game. If you're a Dolphins fan, you hopefully you turned away.
All right. So this is the game.
All right. I'm only saying it because I used to be a Dolphins fan. I mean, I kind of still am, but
you're a Dolphins
The
fan.
Colts beat the Dolphins 33-8. I do have one stat about this game, but you go.
So my favorite highlight of the whole weekend was from this game, and it was one of your edge rushers, the one who came from us, Bradley Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
He rounds the corner on a running play. The play is going in front of him, and he's trying to catch up, like, kind of through the line of scrimmage area, and he jumps to tackle the running back, and somehow a lineman is between them, and he just tackles the lineman fully to the ground. Just absolutely crushes a Colts lineman.
I don't know if you get
anything for it.
I don't know if you get much credit for that.
I thought it was hilarious. That's why I said it's my favorite of the weekend, because it was funny.
But they'll watch that over and over again on Monday, right?
There's going to be some coach saying, Bradley, great form. Wrong guy.
Here's your stat of the day, by the way. Daniel Jones is the first quarterback since 1991.
I saw this.
to lead his team to a scoring drive on every possession in a regular season game.
That I was in bed with Cassie and we were getting ready to go to sleep, and I pulled that up on Facebook and I was like, Cassie, this can't be right? This is just like Facebook nonsense.
Right.
You're trying to tell me Tom Brady never had an 8-for-8 game?
Nope. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Daniel Jones.
But you're talking about Brett Favre?
34 years. In 34 years. 1991 covers a lot of people. There were still people playing. A lot of quarterbacks. There was a lot of football.
That covers a lot of Hall of Famers.
Steve Young is in that group.
Steve Young, but Steve Young's also before that, so he may have had it before that too, right?
He might be the one in 91. I don't know. I don't know who it
he
was.
Might be the number one.
I don't know who it was, but
still a crazy stat though.
It is. It was just a crazy stat. Let's talk about the fact that the Seahawks blew a chance to win a game. The third string tight end Jake Tonjes with a late touchdown catch. And then a fumble by Sam Darnold in his debut. It wasn't his fault. He was just trying to throw the football. It just happened to be one of his own dudes behind him.
Bosa made a hell of a play
he did.
To bull rush a right tackle into him.
It wasn't his fault. He was just
fault.
turning to throw the football, and the ball hit a guy, and then it's on.
You can argue situational awareness all you want, but it happened really fast and
right behind him.
right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was clear. It's clear out of your helmet view too.
Oh, for
like
sure.
you're not seeing where that came from, especially
Yeah.
looking to the left.
Yeah.
So
Jackson,
yeah,
without Jackson Smith and Jigba, I don't know that the Seahawks are worth anything at the moment. 9 catches,
he's
124. He's pretty good.
he's really good. I was talking with our friend Austin, and I told him that like that guy, he's one of two things is going to happen. The Seahawks are going to get good, and he's going to want an extension, or they're going to stay about the same, and he's going to demand a trade before the end of his first contract.
Yeah, they're gonna lose him.
Like they're going to lose him,
Yep.
like to free agency. I mean, maybe he won't demand a trade, but they will lose him to free agency. Like it's going to happen. The Seahawks need to be good now, or they're going to lose this guy.
Yeah.
And this game just kind of proved that. Where, I mean, he can have all the stats he wants, but no one wants to lose all the time.
It was a good day in Seattle. It was beautiful weather. It wasn't raining.
Yeah, it looked
and,
like
and
it.
Seattle just wasted it.
Just wasted a
Just wasted
one of
an
these
opportunity.
rare damn good days.
Right. Just wasted the day. Christian McCaffrey had 69 yards rushing on 22 carries. If you're calculating at home, it's about 3 yards a carry.
Roughly.
It's not great, but he still is Christian McCaffrey. You can still see it in there. It just doesn't come out necessarily as much, right? He also had 9 catches for 73 yards.
Well,
So,
but that's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, right.
He might have a 50-yard rushing day. He'll tack on another 60 or 70 through the air. So
yeah,
but yeah, you're right. He just doesn't quite look the same. But that being said, Christian McCaffrey at 75% is still better than most running backs.
Brock Purdy threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he looked all right.
San Francisco lost a fumble. Wait, no, they didn't lose a fumble. They fumbled. Sky Moore fumbled, but they didn't lose a fumble. Yeah, so they threw it away twice. The Seahawks threw it away twice, 2 fumbles. It kind of balanced out. Well, it was 17-13. I mean, there's the score. It was close. It was a close game. It just was boring to me. I watched it, and I'm like, I actually fell asleep during this game. And by the way, so now that we're at the end of the game, George Kittle, IR, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a bummer. That dude is turning out to be softer than Sharman.
Brock Purdy, also not playing this weekend. He has shoulder and toe injuries.
Do you remember last week when I said that they lose them in bunches?
They do
every year,
and because of all that, they cut the kicker after this game. I don't know, but Jake Moody's no longer a San Francisco 49er. After going one for 3,
they walked away from this game and go, you know what? What the problem with us is?
We won the damn football game. We lost our starting tight end and our starting quarterback. We should just get rid of the kicker.
That damn kicker.
I don't understand it at all, but he was 1 for 3. Okay.
Did they sign another one?
I don't know who they picked up.
I wonder if this is a move to try and have another kicker or like the punter do kicking duties and then try and grab another tight end without like compromising your roster a little bit.
You can
but if George Kittle's on IR, then it doesn't matter.
He's on IR. Yeah, they
he's
put him
off
on
the
IR.
roster. Yeah. Yeah, strange. It cost San Francisco a lot to get this win.
Yeah.
But I think it cost the Seahawks more because you lost a lot of faith in your team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cooper Kupp had 2 catches for 15 yards.
That's boring.
Yeah,
boring.
Kenneth Walker had 10 carries for 20 yards. Charbonnet looked like your best bet, but he only had 47, 3.9 yards carry. The Seahawks had.
He has these games, man, where he just is like 60 yards, a touchdown or 2, and you're like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, both teams, 3.2 yards a carry for Seattle, 3.3 for San Francisco. That's why it was boring.
Defenses, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Seattle only had 230 yards total offense, so they were not.
So
great.
maybe we were wrong about the 49ers. Maybe their defense didn't. I mean, we thought because they lost Greenlaw and Tufunga that they were going to be a problem, or that it was going to be a problem for them. Maybe it's not. Maybe their defense is going to be carrying this team all season, just like the Broncos.
Both teams had 1 sack and 7 tackles for loss. It was like even. So this game was like completely
1 sack each.
1 sack each, and 7 tackles for loss. Yeah, Nick Bosa got a sack.
That sounds more like bad offense.
They credited Nick Bosa with a sack on that play, with the fumble.
Oh,
he gets credited with the sack, but he didn't actually sack anybody. He didn't tackle the quarterback.
There are no team sacks that don't carry an accreditation, so it has to go to someone.
Because he recovered the fumble, I think.
Yeah,
he gets credit for the sack and the fumble recovery.
To that point, Bo Nix was only sacked 1 time in the Broncos game, and that was his fumble.
Ah,
It was
yeah.
it was the one time as the fumble. So and that guy I don't think got a great hold of him. He just got the ball. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Seahawks needed some offensive things going, but it was all right.
I didn't pull up all the games, but we'll talk about the scores real quick. I don't have pictures of all the games. Just we'll run down them real quick. Tampa Bay 23-20 win over the Falcons. They missed a field goal at the end. Um, it was it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield does some crap, man.
He's good.
He's athletic, and that's what you got to like. Bengals 17-16 over the Browns. That was a ho hummer of a game, boy. Flacco threw the ball 45 times for
That's a lot
200.
of passes.
That's a lot of damn passes.
Bo Nix threw the ball 40 times, and that was a lot of passes.
Yeah, 45 times. It was a ho hum of a game, but Bengals come away with the win. Raiders with their first win of the year, 20-13 over the Patriots. Geno Smith was 24 of 34 for 362 and a touchdown, and it made what's his name? Head coach.
Gino having Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll is the oldest.
But also Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, but Pete Carroll's the oldest head coach to win a football game. By the way, regular season football game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Gino having 350 and a touchdown. I mean,
that's pretty good.
350 and a touchdown. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
You're not mad about that. But they only had 56 yards of rushing.
There was a lot
Ashton
of
Jeanty averaged 2 yards a
2 yards, but he did get a touchdown.
Yeah, great from 2 yards out.
Hey.
His longest was a 9.
Kyler Murray and the Cardinals with a 2013 win in New Orleans. He did throw 2 touchdown passes. Spencer Rattler was 27. He threw the ball 46 times for 214 yards. There was a lot of throwing going on, by the way. Steelers beat the Jets 34-32 on a 60-yard field goal. Rodgers throws for 244 and 4 touchdowns in week 1. He's on that MVP list after week 1.
Sure.
Yeah. Breece Hall. I still like Breece Hall. 19 carries, 107 yards. I mean, just go out there and get 5 or 6 yards a carry. I'd feed him like 40 times and see what happens. That's just me.
His body wouldn't hold up.
I know.
You
wouldn't
be able to do it 2 weeks in a row.
Maybe not. You're right. That's true. He is kind of beat up. Commanders win 21-6 over the Giants. The Giants are who we thought they were.
Let them stay on the hook.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels 19 of 30 for 233. I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about any of these teams yet, so it's coming. Jaguars with a 26-10 win over the Panthers. That was Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne with 16 carries for 143 yards. That's pretty damn good.
They looked pretty good, but
it's the Panthers. It's the Panthers. That's
right?
exactly what you say, right?
A chronically mismanaged team over the last 7-8 years since Cam Newton left. And it's the Panthers.
And then we'll talk about who actually looked good, and that's the Green Bay Packers. 27-13 over the Lions. They looked really, really good. They scored some points.
But it's a home game at Lambeau.
Yeah, Goff goes 31 for 39 though. 225 and a touchdown. 31 of 39. That's amazing. And they only scored 13 points.
They just didn't run the ball well is what I see. 46 rush.
Yeah.
If a quarterback has a great day, like in terms of completion percentage and things like that, you either have running back fumbles, quarterback picks, or you have no rushing yards. And that's exactly what we had here. We have 46 rushing yards across 22 carries. Yikes.
Matthew Stafford topped 60,000 yards passing as the 10th player in NFL history to do that. As the Rams beat the Texans 14-9. He threw for 245 yards and a touchdown. Puka Nacua 10 catches for 130 yards. Also very good. I would take him and Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
If I could get them both, which is not so easy to do. Sunday night's game was the best game of the weekend. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's absolutely you can't even argue.
I came home from the Broncos game after watching a snooze fest in person.
Yep.
To watch the best game. It was so good.
The best game. Josh Allen and the Bills score 16. They come from 16. They were down 15. They scored 16 points in the last 4 minutes to beat the Ravens 41-40. Part of that's thanks to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had 18 carries for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns.
What do you mean thanks to Derrick Henry? Because he fumbled it?
Yeah, he fumbled the football. He turned the ball over.
He did, but how often does Derrick Henry fumble?
No, but I'm just saying. It happened, and that's part of the reason why they were lucky enough to win.
Why but it's such an unfortunate why because
Yeah.
I didn't like Derrick Henry in college. He got to the NFL. I thought he was a little overhyped. The Titans did what they did with him, where they leaned on him too much, and that compromised Marcus Mariota, like in terms of progression.
Sure.
But I've never really had any gripe against Derrick Henry. He's always seemed to do the right things. He seems to be a good person and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So to see him fumble it, and then people were like, "Oh, Derrick Henry's lost it." Not that you said that, but people
No.
are saying that.
No,
And I'm like, no, my God, like he's had one fumble in his last like 300 snaps.
He ran for 9.4 yards a carry. He did have a 49-yard touchdown run, but 169 yards. It doesn't. I mean, even without the 49 yards, he still ran for 120. Right. So this game, these two guys would be 1A and 1B in the MVP, and they were last year, and I think the year before.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen goes 33 of 46, 394, and 2 touchdowns. He got sacked once, right? He's got a quarterback rating of 112, right? And I'm like, this is the guy that won the football game. The other guy, Lamar Jackson, 14 of 19, 209, 2 touchdowns, a rating of 144.
Jesus.
And he also ran for 70 yards and a touchdown.
Hell of the game.
Yeah, this game was amazing. Everything you wanted offensively in a football game was in this game.
And there was a turnover, like at a pivotal moment. So there was some defense at like a good time in the game.
That's true.
There was not a lot of defense when it was 40-something to 25 or whatever.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of defense up until that point, other than the Ravens doing a little bit. But you let a team score 25. That'll get you a win in most games.
DeAndre Hopkins only had 2 catches, but one of them was amazing.
Jeez Louise.
Right?
Yeah, add that in. Like we have all the other crap.
And Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman went crazy.
8 catches, 112 yards. I swear to God,
had like 4 in the fourth quarter.
The one catch on the sideline that he made on the, I swear, I felt like he had jumped up 8 feet in the air. It looked like he was that high. His butt would have hit the defensive guy in the head, and I'm like, that is way up there. You are way in the air. It was like, man, it was nothing. He was targeted 11 times, 8 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. 14 yards a catch is pretty good. But Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, it was everywhere. There was like,
it was everywhere.
There were plays everywhere.
By the way, Keon Coleman's one of my favorite NFL players. Do you remember when he got drafted by the Bills and he showed up to training camp and he was wearing a jacket, like a bright yellow jacket, and they were like, "What's with the jacket?" And he was like, "I was told it was cold." He's like, "So I went." What did he say? I went to Ross
and bought a jacket,
and they had these jackets, so I bought like 3 of them in different colors.
That's smart.
And
that's good thinking.
It's like August.
Those came in handy later.
Yeah, he definitely wore those jackets later on. Yeah. But yeah, he had a fantastic. This game was just not from start to finish, but I will take a game that is boring or relatively boring for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
If it turns into just an amazing game in the 4th, like I'll take that. Like the Super Bowl with the Tom Brady and the Falcons, that was a boring game for 3 quarters, and then it was the greatest game ever.
Matt Prater with a 32-yard field goal as time expired to give Buffalo the 41-40 win. I'm going to say this, and this is the only time I'm going to say this. What the hell was Buffalo thinking when the score was 27-19 and they went for 2?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They just kept doing it, man.
Well, they had to after they missed the first
hole,
one.
And then they tried to dig themselves
out.
But
why would you go? Why would you not kick the one and make it a 7-point game? What on earth why did at that point you feel like, oh, this needs to be 6?
Because everyone thinks they're Chip Kelly and Riverboat Gambler, and
it's awful.
Like it's I don't know if it's awful.
That was an awful decision.
I said this to you the other day. Who are we to criticize? They won.
Yeah.
In regulation.
Well, they wouldn't have had to go through all this to win had they just kicked the extra points.
But then how are you going to get weekly NFL Instant Classic?
Well, that's true. So this is probably directed by the league.
We brought up Matt Prater a couple weeks ago talking about the Broncos.
Yeah.
When I talked about that SNL skit, was like, what you need to be thanking is your kicker, Matt Prater over here. And then
and there he is. He just shows up. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently he showed up on Thursday.
He did nothing but be awesome.
He was not on their roster last week, and then showed up on Thursday of this week.
Yeah.
And started practicing with the team on Thursday and Friday. and then was available on Sunday for
When
the
your
game.
kick-
That's how long you had him.
When your kicker goes down, your kicker goes down. It
Is Matt Prater that character in a movie that like appears out of the mist and gives you great guidance and then leads you through whatever
Maybe.
thing you're doing, and then
Maybe.
just he's the what's it called, Bagger Vance
Yeah.
of the he's just gonna
could-
disappear off into the sunset.
The legend of
Of Matt
Matt
Prater.
Prater. I like it. It was a good football game. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. I
was
not
great.
much anyway. They're yeah,
was what
both
you want.
sides. It was both sides back and forth, and people executing at a high level, and that's what made it
Hell
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Loved every bit of that. And by the way, this picture right here with Josh Allen over the top for the touchdown, they tried it a regular way. and then he decided, well, you know what? I'm 6'10", and my arms are like 40 feet long. And
The
if I just
speed at which you have to snap it out there,
and if I just
bring it back.
if I just jump in the air, ain't nobody coming up here.
Well,
So-
but they do. He fumbled one of these last year
Yeah, I
doing
know.
the same thing because again somebody just reached up and punched it out of his hand
Yeah.
right as he came over the line, and but
Yeah.
yeah, he reaches it out and snaps it back really fast
Yeah.
and just hopes that replay gives it to him.
Hope that somebody saw that.
Yeah, hope
Yeah.
that somebody saw that or that the chips in the ball count.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was a good football game. Last season opening game at this particular stadium.
Yeah.
What's the name of the stadium? Damn it.
Something
Highmark. It's
Highmark.
Highmark Stadium. It used to be Rich Stadium at one point in time. That was the old name
Sure.
back in the day.
I've
when
been
they
to the
started.
stadium before.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched them beat the Dolphins.
The new Highmark Stadium looks amazing. It's built right next door.
Yeah.
So-
Have you heard the thing about the zero wind in there?
Uh-uh.
So there's a video where Josh Allen's touring the stadium this like right before the season started. He walks in there. It was part of Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah.
He walked in there, he's standing in the middle, and he goes, "Oh man, there's no wind." And so the engineer starts talking to him. He goes, "Yeah, so we've designed it to where there can be upwards of like 70 or 80 mile an hour winds outside the stadium. It won't reach the field."
Wow.
Like they've engineered the stadium to handle it has to do with its positioning and the way the roof is shaped. It will handle wind. There's virtually no wind in the stadium.
So you're telling me they made it so all the dinosaurs are female?
That's
Is
right.
that what I'm hearing? And
but-
this can't happen. It won't happen.
But as we all know, life finds a way.
I'm just saying. I'm not 100% certain that there won't be no
Yeah.
wind. But I mean, maybe that's what they.
Well,
Maybe they're
that's
good.
why I said the word virtually.
Virtually, yeah.
Like anything could happen,
Yeah.
but it's going to allow snow. So a blizzard could be happening outside,
Right.
and any snow that comes into the stadium, like that kind of gets caught in, like pulled in,
Yeah.
is just going to fall like natural snow. It's not going to be hard blizzard conditions.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I
So
thought,
it's kind of a bummer, though.
I thought you were going to tell me there was some sort of heated laser grid across the top, and it was going to melt the
okay,
snow as
so
it came in.
The field is heated, and
Yeah.
then all of the bleachers have like some sort of heating system.
That's cool.
So there shouldn't be needing. Problem with this is, I don't
It's
like
all-
the fact that they're taking it away from the fans who used to come out to the stadium and shovel snow for tickets.
It's all fun, right? But it's all fun and games until someone catches on fire from a short circuit. But that's okay. Never mind. Not
And
that
that's
this happened
happened in how many NFL games?
It's going to happen eventually.
There's
Um,
there's about 20 teams with heating systems in their field,
I know.
and not a single one has had a player on fire.
Yet.
Yet.
Yet. There's always a
There's
first.
always a first.
There's
Yeah.
always a first. All right. Anyway, what else happened? Yeah, Monday night's game. After the Sunday night game, every game was going to be a letdown. But the Bears found a way to let the
Oh,
Vikings
Bears.
score 21 fourth quarter points and beat them 27-24.
They made JJ McCarthy look good.
I felt like through 3.5 quarters that the Bears were the better team, and they probably were. They were right
Kinda
there.
seemed like it.
Yeah,
but
they
they weren't
felt-
scoring. They were
No.
they were controlling it,
But
but
not.
they weren't scoring a lot.
No. Yeah. So Caleb Williams goes for 210 and a touchdown. No interceptions. He was sacked twice. He also was a leading rusher, and I think that's an issue when you're talking about 58 yards, right? As your quarterback got 58 yards as your leading rusher. It's not great. It's not a great look.
He scrambles a lot.
He does.
I guarantee you he's getting talked to this week. Like, bro, you've got to stay in the pocket a
But-
little longer.
DeAndre Swift was 17 carries for 53 yards, so that's 3 yards a carry. And DJ Moore had the other 3 carries for 2.7 yards a carry. So they weren't doing anything. None of the rushing was doing anything. So Caleb Williams did run for almost 10 yards a carry. But when you're the leading rusher and you're the leading passer, if you're not Lamar Jackson, it's probably a bad thing. Yeah.
Generally not good.
J.J. McCarthy threw for 143, 2 touchdowns. Did have an interception. He was sacked 3 times. But you know what? Like I said, winning. It's all about winning. Once you win the game, what interception? That was nothing. It's growing pains. He's young. He's not. Is he officially a rookie? Can he win Rookie of the Year?
Oh my God. Okay. I want to say no. However, do you remember when Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year in his second year?
Yep.
Because he only played in like one game or like sub 5% or some crap like that.
Right.
I feel like there could be a caveat for that in the NFL.
Okay. That could be fair.
That's, gosh, if he wins Rookie of the Year, I'm going to be pissed.
Because he didn't play last year at all, right? So, I mean, he got hurt in training camp.
He sat the entire year.
Yeah, so he's never played an NFL football game, so I feel like he's a rookie. But what do I know? Anyway.
That's interesting.
But the Bears.
He's ineligible.
He's ineligible?
I'm reading it right here. He is ineligible. Yes, he cannot win Rookie of the Year. No, because it's your contract year.
That's garbage. He hasn't played a damn game.
With your contract year. Whereas the NBA, it has to do with the person. I mean, put it in your CBA, guys. Talk to your rep.
Oh, good point.
Talk to your local union rep and figure it out. But I guess Ben wasn't, because they do a percentage of games, whereas they don't. They do it based on contract year. So if he was in his first year of his contract year, yes. So if he would have just sat at home for free last year.
Yeah, let's just scrap this contract and redo it next year. I don't think he would have got much money.
But honestly, this guy, I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't cave to that. But I can't imagine a scenario where you're going to look at J.J. McCarthy over the rest of the season. He doesn't have a lot of crazy games left. You know, he's got the Eagles, he's got the Chargers, he's got the Lions in 3 weeks in a row, by the way.
That's going to be fun.
Sorry. And the Ravens in 4 weeks in a row.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough stretch.
He's got some tough stretches ahead, but there's a lot of actually no. I'm looking at this schedule and I'm like,
at the Packers, at the Seahawks.
Yep, at the Packers, at the Seahawks. He's got the Cowboys on the road.
Commanders.
They might be eliminated by that point. Even the Lions at home is not a gimme. Like, I don't know. That's gonna be.
It's tough.
This team could easily lose 10 games this year.
And you were talking about that 4, but before he gets to that 4, I mean, after the Falcons, he's got the Bengals and the Steelers. Yeah, they play the Browns. Okay, that's kind of a gimme. But then the Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens.
But is it a gimme because maybe the Browns' defense is better, or the Bengals just haven't figured out?
I don't know. I'm not. We'll know more. 3 weeks. You have to give the NFL 3 weeks to shake out.
We're gonna initially react to any of these things, but then in 3 weeks we're gonna start digging into where we think they're gonna go.
Yeah. So Parker's division winners for this year, the ones he picked: Seattle lost, Detroit lost, Tampa won, and Philly won, Denver won, Baltimore lost, Tennessee lost, and Buffalo won. So you were 50-50.
It's not a great start.
I had the Rams, who won. Detroit lost. Atlanta lost. Philly won. Kansas City lost. Baltimore lost. Houston lost.
Damn.
And Buffalo won. So
let's go.
I only got 3 right. So you got 4. I got 3.
I'm ahead after 1 week.
You are ahead after 1 week.
There you go. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll check again after week 2.
We'll hang on to that because we're going to refer to that at the end of the year when none of those 8 teams make the playoffs.
How sad will that be?
I don't. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty safe with Buffalo and Philly, but the rest of them.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got. I mean, that's all we got. Week 2. Hold on though. We do have week 2 coming up, and I wanted to point out more things about teams playing in week 2. Week 2 in the NFL. Commanders Packers play Thursday night. And that's a big NFC showdown, right? Because the Packers, who won game 1 against Detroit, if they have a win over Detroit and Washington already in the season, those are tiebreakers, man. Bengals Jaguars, they're both 1-0. Either the Giants or the Cowboys are going to be 0-2. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, I'm looking at you, Cowboys.
You're not saying, you're just saying.
You better pick it up. Either the Bears or the Lions is going to be 0-2. Right? Either the Patriots or Dolphins will be 0-2. The Saints may get a win because the Niners ain't got a quarterback or a tight end or a kicker. Um, the Jets played great against Pittsburgh. I thought good enough to win. Maybe they can do that against Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo will have a letdown after the Sunday night thing, right? The Seahawks have to go to Pittsburgh to try and get their first win, or they're going to be 0-2 right off the bat. The Browns and the Ravens, one of them's going to be 0-2. And then, of course, you have the Broncos Colts, who are both 1-0.
That's right.
That's a big AFC tiebreaker right there if you were headed that direction. Chiefs and the Eagles in a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, right? That could be exciting. But Chiefs might be if they turn it around, both those teams would be 1-1. Chargers Raiders for battle of the division, lead of the division. That's Monday night game. The late Monday night game because the Buccaneers and Texans play the early Monday night game. Anyway, there's a lot of good football, but it's still early. We don't know anything. I honestly don't. I really don't. I can't tell you who. I can't. I know that a handful of teams, 5 teams probably, that I could tell you are going to be good. They're going to make the playoffs because they showed it. And then there's everybody else. Maybe.
That's about how I see it.
Yeah. Five
A
teams.
couple easy predictions. Everyone else, who
Yep.
knows?
Yep. Right now,
After week 3, though, we'll update.
Right now, I'm going to give you Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert. Those are my top 4 MVP after week 1.
Ooh.
Derrick Henry might get some votes, though. Simmer down.
I was gonna go Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Derrick
after
Henry,
week 1.
169
Also,
yards. Oof.
I have Lamar and Derrick Henry in my fantasy league. I went crazy.
That's great.
I was losing coming into Sunday night.
One game
I
can
was winning by 60 points leaving it.
one game can win it all.
Yep.
Yeah, I barely squeaked one out, but I won. And that's all that matters. Anyway, all right. Anything else we want to talk about? We got to cut this because some of us have to work tomorrow. There's that.
Both of us have to work tomorrow.
Oh crap! So, yeah, both of us have to work tomorrow. We will be back next week. Talk about week 2 in the NFL and week 3 in college football. There is no Formula One. We'll fill that spot with some trivia. So I'll see what I can come up with. Maybe Formula One trivia. I don't know. We'll find something different that we don't normally talk about. Maybe just obscure sports trivia. We'll talk about cricket. Anyway, by the way, there's a cricket team here in Seattle, right? The Orcas. Are they Orcas? I think they're called the Orcas. I'm going to go watch a game this year. That's my goal this next year. Go watch a cricket game. I've never actually watched a cricket match, and I want to watch one just because I've read the rules. I know basically what's happening. I just have never been in person to go watch a cricket match. I don't know if it's exciting or if it's boring, and I'll never want to go again. So I gotta find.
I've seen a couple of them. They're boring.
Well, but was it professional?
No.
Well,
I mean,
see, there's a different level.
As professional as any cricket game I can imagine. Yeah.
If you if you didn't pay $12 for a hot dog, you didn't get the full experience.
If you're paying $12 for a hot dog after spending $5 on your ticket, you went to the wrong event.
Did you see the ticket or the hot dog price list that somebody put out for the NFL stadiums? Oh my God!
I bet the what's it called? The Crafts and Patriots and Falcons probably have some of the cheapest ones because they've had those price lock things.
They were talking about they're just basic hot dog. We're not talking about a sausage dog or any of that kind of stuff.
Oh well, then the Broncos are on it. They have a $5 hot dog too.
Yep. The Falcons have a $2 hot dog.
Damn.
$2 hot dog.
Are you kidding me? You could do the 4. You could do the the 4 for 4.
I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, Atlanta's got some deal, but you can get it's like a 12-ounce draft beer, one of the domestic ones, right?
Yeah.
And the hot dog is $5. And I'm like, that's pretty damn good. $3 beer and a $2 hot dog.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you go there.
Apparently, today the Broncos announced they're thinking about moving. Well, they've announced that their target site for the new Broncos Stadium, which by the way will have a retractable roof. We can get into this more next week, whether we like that idea or not.
Yeah.
But they announced potentially a similar price plan, like a locked price plan for like things. But they already have now a section when you go to their walkthroughs that are like nachos, hot dogs, regular size sodas, a handful of bag of peanuts, a handful of a pretzel. They're all $5 in these certain sections. So you can just go and get those same things over and over again, but there's no beers in there. which there are at the
Oh.
Falcons and the Patriots and things like that. It's literally just like those 5 things, but it's like 5 things for $5. But yeah, if a stadium, if a stadium has $5 beers, that's such a tough deal for the stadium.
So they listed who has the most expensive hot dog in the NFL
Yeah.
for plain hot dog.
Let me guess.
I don't think you'll get it.
You don't think I'll get it?
I
Which
don't
means
think you'll
it's
get
an unlikely place. Let's go
Who
with
would have been your first choice if I hadn't said that? Who would have been your first choice?
MetLife.
That would have been a good choice, right? Because
Yeah.
New York or LA would
Yeah.
have been another good choice, right?
Yeah, those both would have been good guesses.
Yeah.
I think but based on the fact that you said I don't think you'll get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like someone like Cleveland.
It's Buffalo.
Oh,
Buffalo
that's
has
kind of a similar energy.
$11 hot dogs.
Well, they're trying to pay for that stadium.
Yeah, right. They're trying to. Yeah, Highmark Stadium.
By the way, do you know how much the Broncos Stadium will cost taxpayers?
I do not know.
$0.
Wow.
It is a fully
privately funded
stadium.
That's great.
Fully. So $0 to the local taxpayers, but the city's gonna have to do some restructuring apparently of the water system. That's a story for another day. But that's I would have guessed someplace like New York or even Chicago. Maybe they're going crazy because they have really good hot dogs in Chicago anyway. So I could have guessed that they were just charging based on like principle alone.
Right.
But that's Buffalo. That's
Buffalo.
A little surprising.
It is.
I bet those dudes eat so many hot dogs.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think the average NFL hot dog was $7, I think. So
that's actually not bad.
It doesn't sound terrible, but you know,
when you go to buy it, it feels terrible.
And when you eat it, you go, "That's it for $7?" Because it's a tiny little hot dog. I mean, $7
for a soggy hot dog that's been in a piece of aluminum foil for an hour until I got here.
I've eaten worse things. It's okay.
I'm just saying, Costco does it for $1.50. What are we doing here?
How come Costco? Why don't we just buy Costco hot dogs and sell them at the stadium?
I'm just saying. You're just saying. I'm just saying. When the Rangers opened their new stadium, people made fun of it because it looked like a giant warehouse, like a Costco.
Yeah.
That was a partnership dream. Are you kidding me? Like to sell $1.50 hot dog soda combos at a baseball game. People already tried to do the 9 for $9
The
thing.
line would be so big.
Well, I mean, you have enough concession stands, I guess.
I
but
suppose.
like, what I'm saying is, people try and do the 9 for $9 thing where you drink 9 beers, have 9 hot dogs over 9 innings. Yeah, 1 per inning. That's the goal. And I'm saying we can do that for football at that price of $5 or whatever. Like,
do you know what the secret to that is, right? Do you have to do 1 each per inning, or is just 9 for the whole game?
No, you have to eat it in the inning.
Oh, see, that's terrible. Yeah. I can do 9 and 9, but
so you're saying you could eat 9 and then leave because you're uncomfortable?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a strategy if you don't have to do them all, do 1 each in every inning. If you just 9 for the game, well, the secret is you eat your hot dogs early in the game. First inning, second inning, third inning, you eat hot dogs. You just shove down your hot dogs. And you buy 1 beer to wash it down with each inning for the first 2 or 3 innings, and then you buy a whole bunch of them at the end. And you pound them on the way out. Because then you can pound all the beers. You're not even going to care until you get to the parking lot.
The goal here is to be drunk by about inning 7 and having to force the issue.
And throwing up hot dogs.
Yeah, well, maybe. It's definitely not a trend that benefits local custodians.
And then some lady from Philadelphia tries to take the ball from me, and then there's that.
And it's then we're scrapping. We're throwing hands.
Yeah, right? She
had the most Karen haircut too.
And she came over and put her hands on that guy. Well, I don't know if that's okay.
All right. I'm gonna dissent for a moment.
Okay, go ahead.
That guy ran over there.
Yep.
In a haste.
Yep.
I do think he kind of wrestled the ball away from her. But that being said, that's foul balls and home runs in baseball.
Yep.
Whoever walks away with it has it.
That's what she said.
Like that's tough stuff.
Right.
However, she came over and touched him, and he threw his
I know, right?
up.
I saw that.
Oh my god! Like I was like, "What is your deal, dude?"
Yeah, it was a little weird, but
he acted very like that's where I'm dissenting. Not in the fact that he took it, and not in her reaction. Like, I think all of those things are wild. But the
Her
way he reacted to him touching her
and her
was so unreal.
her comment, her apology, quote unquote, was so
Yeah.
garbage. I was like,
I didn't even see her
she
apology. I don't think it matters.
her apology said, "I'm sorry for what happened. That's not who I am, but things got blown out of proportion." And I lost my job, and that just shows you how crazy it was. And I am sorry that I flipped people off, but they shouldn't have been doing this to me. Everything was a but. And I'm like, if you have to say but in your apology, I'm sorry, but it's not an apology. That's no longer an apology. You're making excuses for why.
I'm sorry, but it's not an apology. I
Yeah, it's
agree.
not an apology. So
Yeah,
she
this-
did.
this-
Yeah, and then she made it. It's just a ball. It's just a game. Let it go.
It-
And I'm like, then
it
why
is
didn't
and
you
it
let it go?
isn't.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
let it go then?
Yeah, it is and it isn't. Like, I mean, but also, like, why wasn't that guy's kid running to get the ball? You're a grown man
Well-
chasing this down when your perfectly able 13-year-old son.
True.
To be fair, it wasn't like it was like a 5-year-old. It was
True.
like a high schooler.
Well, I don't know if it was that quite
Let
that
him
big, but
let
yeah.
him. Well, yeah, maybe he
Yeah.
was middle school. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let him chase the ball.
Agreed.
Why are you sprinting after it?
He should have been
Literally,
sitting.
at the peak moment. It was 4 adults
Yeah.
scrambling for this ball.
It's
and
true.
It's like, come on, guys. Like,
Well,
just stand
Funny-
back.
just
Let the kids run after it.
just as an FYI, the funniest this is the last thing I promise.
This is steering on. Yeah.
We were we were at a Tennessee Smokies game. Your sister and I were at a Tennessee Smokies game, and we're sitting down the left field line, and it's near where one of the concession stands is, and it's right behind us, right? And so it's minor league baseball for those of you who don't know. It's Double-A baseball. Guy hits a foul ball. The batter hits a foul ball, and it's super sky high, and it's coming down at or near the concession stand. I mean, I can
I like at or near.
I can tell by the trajectory it's coming down at or near the concession stand. This guy has just got 4 drinks. Okay? He has bought 4 drinks from the concession stand in a cup holder, right? He also has a broken left arm. He's got a cast on his arm, right? But
so he's doing big things. For
he's
a
doing
broken
big
arm guy.
things. He's getting drinks for everybody, and he's walking back to his seat.
He's like,
With-
my buddies are gonna love this.
When the ball hit his cast, it came straight down on his arm and hit him in the cast in the wrist, and there were drinks everywhere. And he was, I mean, he didn't like scream. I think the shock took over because if you get hit in a broken hand or broken
What the
arm
hell was that?
with the baseball that just came down from 400 feet in the air,
Yeah.
oh, and it had to hurt. It had to hurt so bad, and I felt so bad for that guy. And they did give him a foul ball. They didn't give him a ball. So I mean, he got
Did they
that.
give him 4 beers?
I'm hoping they did, but I don't know the answer to that one. I did see them
If-
give him a ball, but I'm
if
sure
you-
that was after he came out of the EMT
Yeah.
section because oh my god, that had to hurt.
If you're an organization and somebody is wearing a cast or a neck brace or any medical device and they get struck by a foul ball, that person needs to receive bats
Something.
and food.
Well, I mean, some of that depends, right? I mean, if you just throw your arm up and it gets hit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, okay. If if you have a broken arm and you reach it in the air,
Yeah,
to
then
catch a
you
foul
deserve
ball,
that. Yeah,
buddy. That's
on you. Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah, correct.
solely on you.
But this one, he had no idea the ball was coming down. He literally had no idea,
Inadvertent situation.
and it would just bam on his arm, and I was like, oh,
Hey,
dude.
To the counter of that, if you're holding your phone and you are struck by a foul ball or a falling ball, I think the opposite needs to happen. I think you need to be kicked out. Like the highlights happen, like you're not paying attention.
You shouldn't. Yeah, if you got struck by a ball while you were on your phone, then that's just because you're not watching baseball. You should be here watching baseball, live in the moment.
Every baseball season, there's 20 to 30.
Yeah.
It's usually ladies, but it does happen to dudes all the time. There's usually ladies, but somebody gets struck by a foul ball while they're like showing somebody else something on their phone, and it's like, what are we doing here?
I've watched more than one lady get hit with a foul ball not because she was on her phone, but because they're chitty chatty. And so she's turned and talking to somebody. And next thing you know, here comes a foul ball at 400 miles an hour. Wham. And I'm like, yeah, you got to pay more attention. That's why guys don't talk to you. Because guys don't talk because we're busy looking. We're busy watching.
Well, also just have the ability to talk and pay attention.
Yeah,
I do that every sporting event I go to.
Get a shield and just put it up when you want to turn your head and talk. I don't know.
One time, Cassie and I were talking about going to a Rockies game, and it was down the third baseline, and I was like, I was
Yeah.
like, I think I'd rather just sit in the outfield because it's probably not going to be that exciting, and I don't want to get caught
Let me think
not
about that.
paying
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, let me think about that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to pay attention the whole time either.
Yeah, just put me in the outfield because if I miss the
Right,
and
yeah.
the crowd rising to their feet
Right.
around me,
Yeah.
then yeah, I deserve it. I need to own it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that lady sucked.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure there'll be more excitement as we go along.
Yep.
All right. So that has been our show. I want to jazzy music.
Nice.
It's the best.
Sounds
Yeah, I want to thank ESPN and CBS and the NFL and Fox and NCAA football, NCAA in general. What else are we talking about? Formula One. And the Formula One network, the F1 network. I want to thank everybody for ESPN. By the way, I didn't mention ESPN, did I? I want to thank ESPN. This has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media. We'll see you all next week, and we'll do it again.